What do you know? We are live again. We are back at it. We're going to do what you guys requested, and we're going to hit up the 2024 Mash and Journey best whiskey of the year, I guess. We've got some hitters. We got my partner in crime. We're locked and loaded. We were running a little bit of a shit show here for a second, but we got our you know what together. So we're ready to go. Are you looking forward to this? I've been looking forward to all day. So
Yeah, I'm excited to see how this shakes out. I think so. Just to kind of do a recap here, I just want to let everybody know like what the votes were. So, what Scott and I have in our glasses are from left to right, from our left.
yes.
We're going in reverse order, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, based on votes. So the first one is number 5, which is the 13th Colony Holy Cannoli. Number 4 is the Ben Holladay Weeded Rickhouse Proof Bourbon. Number 3 is the Green River Jorge T. Swag. Number 2 is the Still Austin Ludicrous Bourbon. And number 1 is the Rebecca Creek Rebecca's Last Ride. Now, the other thing we want to say is that Scott and I picked our own personal 2 favorites that weren't on the top 5 list to go in the last 2 slots. Now, we don't know, Scott and I do not know what's in either of our last 2 glasses. So we'll see how it shakes out in the blind tasting. So, and to see if it actually beats or hangs with the top 5 that you guys did.
Yeah.
The only reason why, so I know some people are like, we couldn't do a blind because I have nobody here to set up a blind tasting for me. And Scott couldn't do it either. So we figured we'd kind of go through, do the same notes, but we will not reveal our own personal rankings until the end. And then we'll also reveal what were the last 2 that we added are. So should be kind of fun, have a little fun reveal at the end. And Scott and I will name our top whiskey. So
yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, because I mean, if we did them blind, truly, like we would just be here rattling off different tasting notes. You guys would be, you'd hear them from me, you'd hear them from Jason. I mean, we'd be like all over the place. So we just decided let's just do it this way. I mean, we can still be knowing what they are in tasting all of these things together. We're going to be as subjective as we can in terms of choosing which ones are working the best for us tonight, and we'll see. We're not going to reveal what they are. You guys know what the order is, but you're not going to know what order we put them in. So that will be interesting. So kind of blind, kind of not. You guys aren't going to get the answers until the end, and we'll mix in the other 2 that we decided to add in ourselves and kind of see how those factor in. So, I guess let's also say this, without you guys being a part of all of this, we wouldn't have the opportunity to do this. So first and foremost, thank you to each and every one of you for being a part of all of this and allowing for us to do this. So it's an important thing. It's humbling. There's a lot of great people in the club, and we can't say thank you to each and every one of you enough. So thank you very much.
I echo Scott's sentiments, and on top of that, we look forward to a very interesting 2025 to meet a lot of you guys that did not do any picks with us yet. We'll get a chance to meet you here in 2025 as we're going to focus on some really great meetups and different events here in 2025. So congrats. And yeah, dude, really congrats to the patrons. I mean, you guys kind of make all this happen. If you guys weren't buying these picks,
definitely
we wouldn't be getting all the notoriety that our club is getting. So because now we're at the point where we make a call and people know us now. So it's pretty cool.
Yeah, it really helps. Am I still low in terms of volume on your guys' end, or do I sound okay?
You sound good to me. I don't
Oh, okay.
I don't find you as low. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure. Someone said I was kind of sounding low, but let me move this up a little bit. Maybe that'll help some. All right. Should we dive into this thing? You guys, you know what the 5 are. So, I mean, if you guys have them, drink them tonight. If you want to blind them, good. I mean, go for it. I mean, there's some of you who probably have all 5 of them. We wish all of you had all 5, but some of these were some difficult ones, but these are all fantastic bourbons, ryes, whatever they may be. So we'll see what do. Let's dive into this. Eric says lower, Scott, please.
Are we going to see? Are we going to see the new KC cast strength pick this year? Yeah, we actually might be able to get 2 of them. I think we're working with. I think we're on line with Keg and Bottle to get a Knob Creek, and we could be in line. I think with Shared Pour to get one as well. So you might see 2 Knob Creek cast strength picks for bourbon come through, and I think I have no problem with that, just because I think there could be some really high quality bottles we get to try. Yep. So we might be able to get 2 of them this year. So
yeah, that'd be fantastic. Yeah, it's one that we've kind of that's eluded us for quite a while. 1792 is another one that's, I don't know if they're doing it or not anymore, but
1792 is a Sazerac thing, so you have to kind of win the lottery to get in there.
That's right. That's the Buffalo Trace thing. I forgot about that. So oh yeah, do we want to mention that as well?
What?
The BT thing?
I mean, I've mentioned it, but you can.
Oh, you have. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, I don't know. Yeah, if some of you guys heard from Jason, but yeah, through Prime Barrel, Michael at Prime Barrel reached out not long ago and asked us if we'd be interested in doing a Buffalo Trace. He started throwing out like the Rick Houses and all that, which at the time, what he was mentioning was all blends, which we thought was going to be kind of funny if it ended up being blends, but it will just be a Buffalo Trace. But still, it's a little bit of a foot in the door, and it gets us something from there. Should be a simple, kind of straightforward little bourbon, but needless to say, it's still Buffalo Trace, so it'll be
our first Buffalo Trace pick. And not only is it, I mean, I realize it's regular Buffalo Trace, but some of those can be really good. And best part is there'll be a lot of bottles available for everybody because it's proof down to 90 proof, so there should be a lot.
Yeah, so we'll do our best. So all right, let's dive into this, and we'll see we'll see how this shakes out. This will be interesting. So
yeah, because a lot of these I just haven't gone back to in a while, just because of all the whiskey. So
yeah, I gotta keep track of, make sure I've got the right ones. So,
it'll be interesting to revisit some of these and see where the true favorites lie. So all right, let's go into the first one, which is the 13th Colony, which ended up being 5th on the list.
Yeah, this was the one I remember during Solidarity. You asked if this was a rye. I said no. I mean, in fairness to me, I didn't know what it was at the point. I mean, I didn't even know my name. So
I think I could have put orange juice in front of you. You wouldn't have known what the hell it was.
I wouldn't have. I wouldn't have. Boy, you know what? To be honest, I think I remember the nose being stronger or bigger than it is right now. It feels a little like muted. I don't know if it's because I haven't opened it in a while, but
I'll tell you what, I just came off of drinking, about 35 different bourbons. and it doesn't really, it actually, I mean, I think there are aspects of this that it comes off like a rye, especially coming off all the bourbons, but it's not extremely rye forward by any means. It's still to this day, I don't think.
Yeah, I mean, it's why I think going back to why we chose it. I mean, it was more of like a boo rye. I mean, it really smells. I mean, I don't know, just smelling it right off like right here. Like, I mean, it doesn't necessarily just come across or jump out as a rye to me. I mean, it's a beautiful nose. I mean, it does have a little bit of that kind of, funkiness that's there. A lot of barrel influence.
It's crazy.
That char.
That sweetness is there. That there is a level of a smoky char that you do always get with 13 Colony. At least I do. There's always a little bit of almost a graham crackers, s'mores, marshmallowy thing going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's got that confectioner. Again, we call it Holy Cannoli because of this almond note that we were getting on the back end of it. I'm curious to see if it's still there. All right. Cheers, man. Here we go.
All right. Cheers.
Yeah, it still has it. On the very, very back end, I get like this almond cream note on it, which is just delicious.
Boy, I don't know about you, but there's a little bit of like a citrus note that I don't remember necessarily getting that's kind of jumping out a little bit.
Yeah, I think on the palate, it comes off more of a rye now, and I think that lends itself to some citrus.
Man, that's a big whiskey right there.
That is big.
I mean, the finish is what makes that like fantastic. I mean, it's it's that flavor profile, everything that you get, and it just lingers there forever. That spice and that like little tingle it gives you kind of on your tongue, man. That's really, really nice. Shit.
Damn, that is a big whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
That is just boom, boom, boom. Hit you in the face.
I think
that's the first one. I mean, that's going to be tough to beat. I mean, that's a beast.
Man, it drinks all of its proof. I will say this, as proofy as it is, it's extremely like complex. Like you don't focus a lot on the heat. It's just a lot of flavor in this thing. Man.
Yeah, it's a beast of a whiskey, man. There's so much going on, so much flavor. Big finish. It's got the rye characteristics. It finishes sweet. It balanced itself out. The oak char is there, but it's not overwhelming where it dries out the palate. It just stays sweet. It's really nice.
The balance of it is fantastic for that proof and like what it has going on. I mean, you don't have to take a lot of sips of it. I mean, it lingers there for so long that flavor just stays right there on the palate.
Rob Blanchard, what's up, Rob? Nice to see you, man. What is the timing of the BT pick? BT pick will be
is that like March or April?
We haven't secured a date yet. I literally just got an email that I was CC'd on tonight to, I think, start figuring out when we can go. So we'll start figuring out dates. Our partner Mike, they're doing it in April, so we're going to see when we can get down there too. So we'll figure it out. Dates to come.
Yeah. Oh man, that thing is just still like lingering forever.
Yeah, man. All right, to the next.
All right.
So the fourth place whiskey that was voted on was the Ben Holladay wheated Rickhouse proof bourbon, which was a big surprise in the voting. A lot of people went wheated for this one. People love that whiskey, and here we are. So
I was a bit surprised. I thought just the rye bourbon would have really stood out, but man, you guys were really digging the wheater on that. So Eric says crazy. I have that day off. Yeah, TBD. That date TBD. Yeah, I mean that should. Man, oh man. Oh man,
this gives you those really. I mean, so
it's butter. It's a lot of buttercream for me.
Yeah, it's funny how wheated bourbons tend to be a little bit lighter, but this wheated bourbon is as in your face as it gets.
It really is. Those cherry notes kind of start to come out.
Yeah, it's extremely buttery. That's a good call out. Kenneth Clark says the Burai blend is a hitter. Oh, I got to blend. I don't think I blended him yet. Did I blend? I think I did blend him actually. I think it was really good as a blend.
I don't think I have, but man, that would be an interesting one. Yeah, we're working on something. So like Ben Holladay is in with Chris is that how they kind of operate is you don't know anything until you know something, which is oftentimes where he knows nothing and then he gets a call saying, hey, do these guys want to be part of it? And then it's kind of trying to get things into action a little bit. So he said, hold tight. They still want to do stuff with us. They had a great time when we came. So they're going to try to do their best to get us back in there at some point this year. So we're looking forward to whatever that may be. So, oh man, boy, more barrel really kind of starting to show up. Yeah, it does.
Oh, I like that. I like that idea, Todd. After the BT pick, folks can come to the Frankfurt Bourbon Society for after pours. I like that idea.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
All right, I'm going in. Cheers.
All right.
Oh, that's nice, man. I forgot how good that is. And I am not a big wheated bourbon guy, but there's just something about that profile that just,
man,
the buttery aspect of it, a little bit of a bright strawberry citrus combination right on the mid palate. gets into more of a buttery, almost that toffiness that you get kind of on the back end. It kind of stretches into a little bit of oak, not overpowering. Again, remember, these are about 7 years old, so you're not going to get a ton of oak, but it's just enough there to kind of balance out the sweet.
Yeah, that fruit, that fruit notes that's there. It kind of gets into a little bit of that kind of pastry, but the oak is fantastic. Spice on this thing is fantastic. Probably could trick you into not even realizing that this is a weeder. It's got much of a really dark kind of profile that it has to it. Again, nice long finish. Fruit notes are great. That sweetness is coming through again for me as a little bit of like a kind of a pastry-ish kind of note, almost like a Pop-Tart, if that make like a strawberry Pop-Tart with spice to it.
Yeah, I can see strawberry Pop-Tart like in the front of the palate, like, well, front mid, but then it gets into a dark, almost like a salted toffee, like, in the back end. There's almost like a little bit of an acidic toffee. Oh, it's so good.
Definitely sweet up front, and then it kind of settles into that kind of like oak spice, kind of feel. So you get that wave of the sweetness up front, and then it kind of settles into that kind of dark kind of oak and fruit and everything on the back. Boy, that's really, really nice.
Brad Tanica said the Wild Turkey Rye is so crushable. God, it is.
Yeah, it's super easy. I mean,
it's so crushable. It's got a lot of flavor for 101, though. Really does.
It finished number 1 in Marty's flight tonight of the other Wild Turkey Ryes.
Did it really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. That's cool.
I felt slightly bad. One of the other guys that had his pick in there, he did 3, and he told the guy, he's like, well, your rye was really good. It finished in the top 3. He was being very polite.
Whiskey No says I was already drunk, so I guess it doesn't count.
I was already drunk. Yeah. Man, that is really, really nice.
It's good. It's kind of weird coming off the 13th Colony, because the 13th Colony is like a punch in the mouth.
Yeah.
And the Rickhouse proof from Ben Holladay, just a little bit more of a softer touch.
Yeah.
It doesn't punch you in the face, but the flavors are so layered. What's there? It just doesn't have. It's not going to knock you in the face like the 13th Colony does.
I thought about grabbing like one of what the other one just to kind of see the comparison, but I held off doing it just because I wanted to keep this thing independent of just the rye bourbon from Ben Holladay. But man, that is really, really good. Shit. Yeah, it's tough. It'll be interesting kind of going back to see coming off the Green River to then go to the Ben Holladay, because yeah, I mean, coming off a 13th Colony, I mean, it's going to be tough to compare like anything to that. So, but all right.
Roger Reese did his own blind, and our pick was number 2 in the blind. So that's good. Hey man, if it's finishing 1 or 2, that's a good thing. And it's always hard to do, especially when you have like a bunch of, if you have like 101 proof picks in the same flight, it could definitely get a little tough. The rye was the black level Ben Holladay, right? The rye was the black label Ben Holladay. Is it the black label?
I think they're both white. I think they look the same. One just
soft red wheat has black on the bottom. It just says soft red wheat on the bottom. That's how you know it's the weeder.
Yeah.
Top 3 all day. Just go with that. Yeah, exactly.
Top 3.
Here's the thing about that Wild Turkey Rye. When you first crack it, it's a citrus bomb. As you get down the bottle, then the age, the 8-year, the oak, the complexity starts coming to the forefront a little bit more. I think that's why that bottle gets better and better, and it gets even more crushable as you work your way down.
I think what helped that was tasting that whiskey, and as different as it was from all the others, I think helped even proofing it down to 101 has really kind of helped that rye kind of feel like it stands out amongst some of the others, because the other 2 barrels that we tried, or 3, whatever the other ones were much more just, I'll say, standard or that typical profile. So it never were really.
Yeah, I mean, if
it would have been proofed down to 101, I feel like we would have been in a little bit of trouble of it just kind of tasting normal.
Yeah, dude, we honestly just went off of the freaking we went off of Bruce Russell. He's like, you want this barrel? We're like, okay, Bruce.
Yeah. Yeah. He kind of even said, he's like, I knew you guys would taste this. And really, from an outlier standpoint, it tasted much different than the other ones we did. All the others were a lot sweeter and much more just kind of standard, typical. This had.
Oh yeah. So all right. Yeah. So the Rickhouse proof, or the 1 barrel bourbon, it's a black label. The rye bourbon.
Oh,
And
it was. Okay.
And the
All right.
soft red wheat is the white label. So there you go.
I don't even know if I ever even noticed that. Good call. Nice. All right.
There's a sweetness mid late palate that shows out for me on that Wild Turkey Rye. Yeah. Oh, Jolly Rancher. Yeah. Yeah. I think somebody had called out in the tasting when we were there that it came off like they were getting almost like a sweet, like I think they said either cherry or watermelon, something very like tart coming in. Right. So
it was, I mean, it really stood out because I think it was the last one that we tasted. The others were, again, more just typical or standard. Then we got this thing and it was way more elevated. The flavors were way more complex and different, and it stood out. It was kind of an easy choice. So,
all right. So your number 3 vote was the Green River Jorge T Swag.
Yeah.
Let's get into it.
If it would have been up to Green River, we wouldn't have got this. They were doing their best to convince us to not select this pair. They were like, "You sure you want this?"
They tried. Yeah, we're pretty sure. Tried. So here was the thing, though. Green River, to Ron Miles' credit, I mean, this was kind of a ringer. They put this one in because not only was it the oldest single barrel at the time that was ever released for the age it was also the highest. It was one of the first, cast strength ones. Because remember, before that, they were proofing them down to, I think it was like 119, just like the full proofs.
Yep.
But then they decided, you know what? Let's just make them cast strength for the picks. So this was one of the first cast strength picks. It was also the oldest at the time.
Yeah.
That ever released. I'm sure there's been ones older than this that have released since, but at the time we had the oldest single barrel that had ever released from Green River, and Ron Miles knew it too. He knew he put the ringer in, and so yeah.
Well, we are going back, just so you guys know, we are going back to Green River and Bardstown. So we're going to combo that one. So we're doing Green River and Bardstown.
Yeah, we are. I'll be setting up a form early next week, guys. So if you guys want to put your name in the hat to go down to Bardstown and help us with that pick, we already have a date locked in. So if you guys can make it, again, we are asking folks that have never done a pick with us to make the trip down. And if you guys can do it, then please do it. Put your name in the hat. Once I get a specific number from Green River and Ron as far as like how many people we can bring, we will select that many people. We also will select 2 alternates in case somebody can't make it at the last minute. So.
Yeah. And that date as of right now, I think really is kind of set is Friday, March 14th at 10 a.m.
Yep. So we're thinking of going in there Thursday, spending the night, and then Friday night getting up and doing the pick. Friday morning getting up and doing the pick because we have 3 picks to do. So a Bardstown bourbon pick, another Bardstown bourbon pick that is apparently a mash bill that they do not put on the shelf. It's a different one of their other mash bills that they do just picks with, and then a Green River pick. So those 3 picks will be selected on March 14th.
And we'll be in Bardstown. We're not going to.
Yes, this will be in Bardstown.
Yeah.
At Bardstown Bourbon Company. We're not going all the way down to Owensboro.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And again, Friday, March 14th at 10 a.m.
All right. So Jorge T Swag is a cherry. It's a cherry monster.
That day, like it wasn't even close for me. Like this thing, I could have. With the first like 10 minutes of tasting these things, it was over. Like this thing was such a beast at the time. I mean, it looked different. It smelled different. It tasted different. Everything about it was just different in all the good possible ways.
It's cherry and leather with like slight hint of maple.
It's so good.
Whiskey Nose, you're fired. Stop asking about my mother.
Yeah. Marty, that's not very nice. Marty, that's not very nice for your stepson to be talking to you that way, is it?
Top Jimmy, you'll be able to. You're just going to fill out a form that I will post. Scott will post the same link. Yep. Fill out the form, and we'll have all the names, and then we will let everybody know. So,
we had a tater sticker on the.
No, there was no tater.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, you just designed one, but we weren't able to put one.
I kind of made one for the marketing purposes, but we weren't allowed to put a sticker on it.
Right. So. Yeah, they don't let stickers and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, this is like Russell's 15 Light to me. Like all that cherry, the oak. It's not as complex as the Russell's 15, but there are reminders in here of what Russell's 15 smells like.
And it was that like strawberry, cherry, oak pastry notes. Great spice on this.
Got a Green River pick from a local store. Stuff and Whiskey in Maryland. Oh, S&W in Maryland came in at 130.8 proof. Amazing. Yeah, for sure.
I want my money back. All right.
Oh man, dude. I tell you what. Speaking of cherry Jolly Rancher.
Yeah, 100%.
You can make a case that Green River tastes like a cherry Jolly Rancher.
I'm pretty sure I had some I think back when I remember playing like Little League Baseball, I'm pretty sure I had some of that pouch gum that tasted a lot like that.
Yeah. Oh, the Big League Chew cherry gum?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could see that for sure.
Man, oh man. That spice, that late spice that combines with that strawberry, cherry, beautiful oak that's on there. Balance is great. A little bright, like there's some brightness to it.
Yeah, again, just shy of 7 years old when we bottled this one. But yeah, it was their oldest whiskey to date for a single barrel that they had released. So we'll see what we get. We'll see what we get this year.
The cherry really lingers, like a nice cherry, like really lingers.
Dude, I love the finish on this. I'm not going to say my rankings yet, but this is going to be up there, I think, for me.
Your top three
so
far.
This is really good. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I mean,
because you know what? It gives you the proof. It gives you the flavor. It has a great finish. It's not cloyingly sweet, though. It's not too much punch in your mouth. That thing is it's crazy. Yep.
Yeah, it does kind of have like the that kind of perfect balance of that. I mean, and again, I mean, I know like in referencing Jorge T Swag, again, it kind of had a little bit of that staggy feel a little bit to it. And that's kind of where that all came from. And it's still holding up like a champ, I'll tell you.
Darren Clary said, I'm a cherry candy whore bag, and I do unspeakable acts for another bottle of this.
Yeah, unspeakable.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Darren. Sorry. Okay.
That's the thing. You never know like what the what's the word I'm looking for? The affection for a particular bottle is gonna be, and there's some that get this like kind of cult status, and this is probably fallen into that kind of category.
I only got one bottle of this, and I'm nursing it, so I'm gonna try to save this as long as I can.
Yeah, same here. That's
I mean, Scott and I, we really do think about like how many are left there for the patrons, and unfortunately, there wasn't a ton of these, so we each just got one, and that was it.
Yep.
So, how does the cherry on Jorge compare to your new ECB pick? It's different. The cherry here is more of a sour Jolly Rancher cherry. The cherry on the ECB pick is, you talk about like a sweeter cherry. How I describe it, it's Luxardo cherry syrup. It's like concentrated sweet cherry syrup versus this, which is more of a tart cherry. So that's the difference.
The one thing I love about this is that sweetness you get up front, and it sits there, and then you get this punch of like spice that just explodes in your mouth. Like, it's ridiculous.
That's right. If you want to ask anybody about what that thing tastes like, it's the Fuxardo cherry syrup, because that pick fucks. F-U-X. And I cannot. So unfortunately, Scott couldn't come with us on that pick. But I cannot, because Scott is an ECBP whore.
Yeah,
and I cannot wait for him to taste this pick.
Yeah, so. I'm looking forward to it. It's one of the I'm as excited as you guys. I'm in your camp at this point. I've not even tried the thing. I've got nothing, so I'm looking forward.
It's kind of like how I felt for the Backbone pick, because I didn't get a chance to go on that one. Everybody was saying how great that pick was. I couldn't go on that pick. So
yeah, it worked out. Everything somehow works out. And again, it's not just Jason and I mean, it's you guys that are a huge part of all of this stuff. So, I mean, it's
Todd Ritter saying it is insane. Yeah, it was ridiculous. I'm glad I made the deal with Ryan. over at Bourbon Pursuit. The deal was he got to pick the number one larceny pick because he had like a specific connection to someone that recently passed away that was involved in creating the larceny barrel proof picks, or the larceny barrel proof brand, I should say. Mm-hmm. So he really wanted the number one pick that everybody wanted. But we got the second one, which is actually a Deatsville warehouse. And apparently Deatsville warehouses are kind of like a cult following for some reason. So we got a hell of a larceny barrel proof pick as well. So if he got that one, then we got the first ECBP pick. And that's the one we went after, was that Luxardo, the Fuxardo cherry, man.
Sounds like a win-win.
Yeah. Todd Ritter, Mash, Top Shelf, Dustin, and I just looked at each other when we tried it and smiled. Yeah, basically, that's what we did. We took a sip. We were looking at each other. And we were just like, holy shit.
This sounds like the opposite that we had the first time we were there.
It was the complete opposite. Dude, the experiences couldn't even be more different. The first time we went, it's like being thrown into a rick house with 3 shitty barrels. I go, here, fuckers, go pick something you like.
It was maybe still to date the worst possible barrel pick experience of all time. I mean,
that was still the worst pick of all time. Was the first ECBP pick ever. Was the worst.
I feel like if we would have finished like our 3-ounce water, that we wouldn't have been able to get more of that either. Like they would have been like, you just get one little bottle of bottle of water.
All right, so we're going to go to second place.
Still Austin.
Which was the Still Austin Ludicrous Bourbon.
Man, you guys were really digging the Still Austins. Man.
Yeah, both of them actually got a lot of votes, but the Ludicrous Bourbon got a little bit more.
If it would have been up to Jason during pick day, we would have all been part owners of Still Austin. He literally would have bought like all of them. Like it was like Oprah moment. Like I want a barrel. It's like
I wanted all of them.
It was a lot. So it was tough, man. It was tough. The one thing that was, I don't want to say a bummer, but had we said something, it sounds like rye would have been on the table potentially, but we didn't think it was, so we never really said anything. But
I would like to go back to Still Austin this year and definitely see if we can get a rye along with the bourbon. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it'd be a fun thing knowing what we know now. So,
and the liquid, there's that butterscotch, man. It's hard to get away from it.
Oh man,
it's super buttery.
It is buttery. Man,
oh my god, the palate, dude. Oh, I love it so much.
Yeah, this after we did all this, I think that was the same day I had the meat sweats when we went and ate like 4 pounds of like barbecue over at that place.
You ate 4 pounds of barbecue. I
ate a lot.
After I ate that cheddar filled the cheddar and spiced sausage links.
Yeah.
Like I was done. Like that gave me the meat sweats just eating that shit. You
had a lot of sausage in the cannoli, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, that's right. And you had a lot of Hock in the Hock.
Yes, I did.
So here's the thing about the Ludicrous Bourbon. I don't think the Ludicrous Bourbon is as... So here's the thing. I don't think it's as complex as what the Liquid Schwartz was. But the butterscotchiness of this one is what won it over for, I think, a lot of people. Because it's an old school profile that you would never think you would get in a Texas whiskey.
Yeah. We kind of had two different ones. This is how it shook out, was that, there were,
oh my gosh,
there was this balance of like, we liked both of them for completely different reasons. So
yeah, I love this whiskey so much. Oh, it's so good. What are your guys' top 3 picks from the previous years?
Oh, man.
BT says column still. Yep. They do have a very, very tall, skinny column still.
Yes, they do.
Yep. Yeah. It's named Nancy, not after Nancy Fraley, but it's named after Nancy, the 50-foot tall woman from the movie.
Yeah.
Max says Ludicrous was incredible, but the Schwartz was better in my opinion. That's what
they were different.
Yeah, they were different, but I think that's what we saw in the votes too. Yeah. A lot of people like the Liquid Schwartz, but like I said, I think the Ludicrous, with that butterscotch heaviness that it had, people love that one. And again, the sweet, Scott and I were talking about this, how people just love sweet whiskeys. But you add that butterscotch note to it. You guys know I'm going to go crazy for it. It's kind of like a modern dusty type of profile. But yeah, you could definitely argue that the Liquid Schwartz it's a more complex whiskey for sure.
Yeah, they were very different. Yeah, we kind of follow. I mean, really, this was almost the perfect example of kind of what each of us wanted in a whiskey. Like he wanted this profile, and
I asked for a butterscotch bomb because I knew that Still Austin had those in their warehouse. I knew all the rage was look, dude, they have some butterscotch bombs in there. And that's what we asked for. And luckily they rolled them out. And the guy that ran the pick, he knew I was going to pick this because he knew it was a butterscotch bomb. Yeah. And then the ludicrous one, when we were doing the pick, one of the guys, I think it was, I forgot who was with us. Was it Isaac or was it, I forgot who was with us, but he had said that the Liquid Schwartz one was the best pick he's ever tasted. And he had done a bunch of picks over at Still Austin because he was with a couple groups locally in Texas.
Yeah. And
he said that the Liquid Schwartz one was his favorite that he'd ever done. And I agreed. I'm like, the Liquid Schwartz is like an Elijah Craig barrel proof from Texas. It's incredible.
They were just so different. Like what I'll say about this is it's got that soft, like velvety, butterscotchy, like profile to it.
Yeah, dude, it's liquid.
It's very velvety.
It's liquid Werther's candy.
Yeah,
and it's
very velvety.
It is hard not to absolutely love it.
It's very crushable. What the hell was the proof on this thing? That was quite a bit, I think.
What are your guys' top 3 picks from the previous years? Todd, are you talking about actual bottles or are you talking about like the experience? Just to be clear. Oh, he's actually talking bottles. He says the Look at the Birdie, the Old Ritter, and the One Up are Todd Ritter's favorites.
You know,
I wouldn't even know where to start.
You know, here's what I'll also say about the Russell stuff. I think progressively as we've done them, they've gotten better. I don't know in all honesty if we blinded Look at the Birdie, I don't know if it would hold up against some of the other ones that we've had recently.
I don't know. That'd be a good question.
Yeah, the Four Roses was a cool one. I mean, that was just a great bottle. I mean, it was a fun day.
The Four Roses stands out to me for sure. I think the Sagamore stands out to me because that just has a fun story behind it. Because we were all sick as animals when we did that pick.
Oh God, that was
the 3 Sagamigos.
Oh my God, yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, when we did the Wilderness Trail, that was really kind of a fun. That was one of our first experiences of being able to just get into a rick house and just drill the shit out of everything. So that was fun.
Darren Clary says Ritter just asked you to pick your favorite song. Yeah, basically. Basically. It's like trying to pick out of 145 children, which one you like the best.
Exactly. Pick your favorite kid. Yeah, let's get them in the room and name them.
No show tunes.
No show tunes.
I think Scott and I think one trip I'll always remember, Scott, is you and I just at Cedar Ridge, just going through barrels.
It was just, I mean, it was as simple as it was. It was just fun. I mean, we had a great time with them. You know, it was early on for us, so it was a fun experience, but we ended up with 2 great whiskeys. I think one with that double oak that we ended up with there has always and probably will continue to be one of the most underrated whiskeys that we've had to date, I think.
Yeah.
It was great.
Kind of looking through them. I mean, there's so many, dude.
Yeah, there are a lot. There are a lot of them.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to our number 1 pick, which got the most votes, almost 40 votes for this one, which was the Rebecca Creek, Rebecca's Last Ride. So,
this thing. This was a fun. I mean, it was here's what we'll say about this experience. There was nothing. When we got there right away, we ended up in a place that was like a boardroom. We were sitting in the boardroom kind of chairs. They didn't know what to do. They didn't know what to do with us hardly. They were just like, what do you guys want to do? We're like, I don't know. What can we do? Like, let's just do something. And we eventually got to try these things. And my God, it was a very small little place, but yeah, there is no more of this.
Best sticker. I think there's something to be said about the original old Hockster sticker on the old Forester. That one, the old Ritter.
Yeah,
I
the
thought
old Ritter.
old Ritter came out really good.
Another sneaky good whiskey. I would love to get another one of those.
Yeah, I wish I had another old Ritter. That thing, that was. I don't think I'll ever have a Yellowstone that good ever again.
Yeah. I think the Royal Airness was a cool sticker with the sneakers on them like that.
I did like the Royal Airness. Rebecca's Last Ride I thought came out pretty cool too.
Yeah, I mean
from this year.
I know you guys didn't see the Jorge T swag, but that was a cool sticker. If you
the Rockstar sticker might be up there for my top 3.
Oh, the Rockstar, yeah.
And now I think you have to throw the Christmas Rye in there. I think that was that's a beautiful sticker, and I hope Scott and I actually get a sticker of that because
we got to get more sticker. We got to get these guys. We got to get stickers because right now there's not one of these bottles I have that has a goddamn sticker on it.
Yeah, I don't have Rebecca's Last Ride sticker.
Nothing.
I do have a great one because I ordered an extra one, so I do have one with a sticker, so that's cool.
Oh, I don't even have that.
The Holidays had no stickers, so no worries about those.
No.
The Holy Cannoli was just a simple sticker. I got one of those on there.
A little small one.
All right.
So
the Rebecca Creek. So not an old whiskey. We're looking at 6 years. 4 year, was it 4 years? I forgot how it shook out. 4 years in the Spanish oak.
Yeah, it was a long time. It was like only a couple years in a regular like bourbon barrel, and then it was like
4 years in the Spanish oak.
Yeah, it was like a long time in Spanish oak, and that Spanish oak does amazing things. Like when we did the one with Dancing Goat, the Spaniard. That's more Spanish oak. It does.
Oh yeah, that ended up being a pretty big favorite for a lot of people.
It's a crazy one too. So,
but this one brings you into like chocolate maple candy.
It's 100% of that. Yeah, you get that kind of. It's almost, to me, it's almost gone a little grapey. Like you start to get a little bit of that, like a red wine or something like that.
Yeah, I mean that's Spanish oak for sure. Let me give it a try here. Wow.
I mean, you want a sweet, like rich whiskey, then
that thing is candy on the back end. It is straight up candy.
I bet if you gave that to 100 people, 100 people would tell you that's got some kind of finish to it. Like not like a double oak or a Spanish, like some kind of wine barrel or something. I mean, that thing is ridiculous. Oh my God.
So on the very back end of this, and I heard other people say this, there is a little bit of a youthful bitterness on the very, very end. You get it. It's not super prevalent. You don't get it on the extreme, but I feel like it is there. And I'm not sure if that's just from the maturation or it being kind of a younger whiskey, but I think the flavor punch of the Spanish oak is just so intense, and it's such a rich whiskey that, you know, that little thing on the back end is almost it's barely there.
It's a little bit of maybe their kind of their terroir of Texas whiskey as well too. You know, you get a little bit of that funk, that little bit of a funkiness that's there.
Yeah, the Rockstar actually comes off like it's finished, but it's not at all.
When we blinded those, we didn't get one right. We didn't know what we were even drinking anymore.
Yeah, we had no idea anymore. I think our palates were shot. We had drank 9 barrels. So we're like, oh, let's blind some and we'll figure it out. We're like, that's the cognac. That's that one. So we all guessed that the cognac one was actually ended up being the Rockstar. Yeah, and we're like, holy shit, that's not finished. He's like, nope, that's the Rockstar. I'm like, sign us up. We're taking that barrel. That thing's incredible.
So. I think even one of them we got so wrong. We were just drinking water. We're like, we think this is the Rockstar. He's like, no, man, that's just water.
Yeah, we were completely screwed on that tasting by the end. We were like, what were we thinking trying to do a blind tasting after having like 10 cast strength barrels in the rick house?
We're like doing a blind tasting like in an old converted like grain silo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he brought it over.
Apples. I think Jason was like running across the field into the apple orchard, like pulling apples off the tree and like eating them off the tree or something.
Yeah, I almost got arrested by the farm police over
Probably ate a apple worm.
the Starlight police came after me. It was pretty funny.
Starlight police. Oh man, this is gonna be
Get that guy out of the orchard.
Oh man.
Why did I give them a British accent? Get him out of the orchard. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right. So do you think you have kind of a ranking for the first 5? We're not gonna unveil our rankings, but I think I'm kind of leaning definitely a certain way here and there.
Yeah, I mean, I think I could probably put a top 5 together pretty
All right.
quickly.
So now what we're gonna do is Scott and I are gonna taste our 6 and 7, the 2 that we added that were not part of the main 5 that you guys voted on. Now we're not going to tell each other. We haven't told each other what's in our top 2, or I'm sorry, the other 2. So we'll find out. We may have picked the same thing. We may not have. We'll figure it out, and then we're going to see how it shakes out in the ranking of this one. So,
all
right. So just keep it to yourself for this one.
All right. I'm trying to decide of the 2 which one I want to even start with.
Oh my God, dude, I forgot how good this barrel is. Holy shit. Mamacita, Jason Appleseed.
That's pretty good.
Kind of running around in there.
Ritter on his game again.
Like, keep Jason away from the pumpkins.
Oh man, this is so good.
Oh, holy hell. Speaking of apples, I don't know if it's the power of suggestion, but this is like caramel apple pie with cinnamon streusel on top in this glass. I'm not saying what it is, but that's what this one tastes like right now.
Man, mine is like a fruit bomb spice, beautiful oak. Man, oh man.
I love when you write your descriptions and you always write beautiful oak.
Oh, I love it.
I'm like, like Scott just loves.
I love it when it gets that sweet that's there. You know?
I'm like, Scott loves his wood. He always calls it beautiful.
I love beautiful wood. I'm a man. I can
every time you write tasty notes, he's like beautiful oak, and I don't know why.
I'm gonna go with beautiful wood from now on. I'm not even gonna go oak. I'm going beautiful wood.
Yeah, it comes off a little bit like Trump. It's so beautiful, beautiful.
It's gonna get even worse now because I'm just going beautiful wood from now on.
Scott and his beautiful wood.
Beautiful oak is sweet oak. Yes, Todd's got it. Beautiful oak is sweet.
Yes, beautiful oak, sweet oak. No, he's saying beautiful oak over sweet oak.
Oh, beautiful oak is. All right. Well, that's greater than great.
Yeah, greater than beautiful oak, greater than sweet oak.
Okay. All right.
This one has beautiful oak. I think this one I'm sipping on.
I feel like if I keep going at this rate, we're going to be doing solidarity number 2.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting to the point where I've had a lot of whiskey tonight, little sips, but it's all adding up at some point here. So,
and it's got this nice like Coca-Cola feel to this one.
Oh, Coca-Cola!
I mean, honestly, what I just had almost immediately when I originally tasted, I thought it had some kind of rum finish almost to it. This maple syrup, like molasses, rum, like it was all over the place.
Oh, so maybe I kind of do know which one.
And what I've got is not even finished at all. Period. Yeah. Man, oh man, that's crazy.
This one that I added here, number 6, is probably between that one, the Ludicrous, and the Green River, probably top 3. Like viscosity, top 3 most viscous whiskeys in this palette. Todd Ritter, they want to show you your beautiful oak.
Yeah, your beautiful oak.
Todd Ritter, he wants to.
Yeah,
Scott's going to show you his beautiful oak.
This stream would get shut down very quickly if that was the case.
All right, I'm on the last one, dude. The last one.
You're on your last one. Okay.
The nose on the last one is incredible. Oh my gosh.
Oh man, 7 is ridiculous. Honestly, I don't even know how this one didn't even make it in there. I'm so shocked that this did not make it in there.
The one that your number 7.
Yeah, my number 7. I thought for sure. I thought if I could have like told you 100%. I mean, outside of a couple of these that were in here, there were a couple that I was a little bit surprised by, but this one I thought for sure would.
Yeah, there's like I had like 10 on the desk. Like, okay, which one am I picking here? I couldn't decide, but these are the ones that I really thought were really impressive. So, but like every whiskey should smell like this. It's so good. Justin Jenkins says, "I'm picturing Scott sweet talking barrels at picks now. You're a beautiful man."
I do a lot of mumbling, Justin.
Yeah,
trust me.
Hey there, Barrel.
People don't see. Yeah, people don't see when I get down there by that bunghole what kind of action happens. So
hey there, Warehouse S. You're looking sexy today.
Yeah.
Eric Mays, time to roll up the pant legs.
Exactly.
Oh shit, that's awesome.
Oh man, I just realized I have a common theme between 6 and 7 on my end. Didn't even realize it till right now.
A common theme?
A 100% common theme.
So I mean, it's either the same proof, the same distillery, or the same. I don't know.
Could be all of the above.
Yeah, my 6 and 7 are different distillers.
Man, that thing is like a chocolate, fruit bomb, spice, oak. Man, it's got this just different, this totally different profile to it.
Yeah, I don't know which one I like more. All right, I'm gonna try to rank these here.
Are you just ranking the first 5?
I'm just gonna rank all of them here. See
which
I like here. This is tough.
This is very tough.
I think I have a last place.
Oh, you think you have a last place, hey?
I think so. Not that one. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. Shit.
Yeah, this is very difficult.
I think my last place is going to be this one, which is going to be the okay.
Holy cow.
Second to last.
This is way more. I thought this was going to be semi-easy, and it's really proving to be the opposite at this point.
I mean, they're all really good, and they're all really different. And I mean, I don't know what you put as your even like your top 2 is going to be tough.
All right, man. I all I can do is like narrow down. I think. All right, shit. This is tough.
Taste this one again. Oh man, I do not know. I think that one's going to stay towards the back end. I don't know why it's not this one. This one that I chose isn't hitting for me tonight. Like I remember it.
You like your number 7?
I love my number 7.
No, you're 7th place overall. It's just not.
I mean, I love all these. I'm talking about the 2 that I added.
Yeah,
one of the 2 that I added isn't hitting like I thought it would.
Oh, it isn't. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Man, this is really tough.
All right, now we're back to the top 5 here. Yeah, this is gonna be a little tricky here, but I think I have my 5, 6, 7. All right, so now I need my top 4. I think this is where it's gonna get tough. Max says 13 Colony, Green River, still Austin, BH. Oh, Ben Holladay. Said he didn't have the Rebecca Creek. Okay, got it. Adam's Peaches was my number 1 of your picks, doing them blind. Oh, Roger Reese. Adam. Yeah, I can't say what I put in and did not put in, but we'll get there. Shit. All right, so I got a top 4 here. I have to figure out what my top 4 is going to be now. Do you have a somewhat of a ranking here for your bottom tiers at least?
I have my number 7. That's it.
All right, so you're in the
I am so torn right now. I am trying to like dissect these things a little bit.
So you're in the beginning stages. There you go.
I'm in the very beginning stages. Man, oh man.
All right.
Shit. All right. So I'm gonna say
Okay. I think I have that one.
1.
Okay. All right.
Shit. Can that be right?
Dude, I tell you what, 1 and 2 here is going to be rough. I do not know which way to go.
I am like really, really torn. Like, as
you
much
know what, Scott? Just to kind of
want to scribble them out.
Just to kind of do a little bit of a throwback. I think our biggest surprise pick ever had to be the Nulu Spice Jam.
Oh yeah, that thing was just like, it was so heavily finished that
because we did not pick that barrel. That just was like a leftover. And
yeah, we just kind of got an option of
we didn't think it was going to be anything. And we got these samples and we were blown away how good it was. We're like, why did somebody put this aside? It ended up being one of kind of the top picks that year.
Well, plus one of the other like crazy good ones that there were very like, almost no bottles was that Modern Dusty that we did. That thing was like so out there that it was.
Yeah, that was a crazy.
That thing was just like a one of a kind. But
yeah, Corbin Cash was last year, David Smith. Well, 2023. We do have a Corbin Cash coming out here very soon. Our second Corbin Cash pick. So that could end up being a big one for 2025. So we'll see once that one comes in. Haven't gotten any updates yet on it.
Man, this is going to be, I don't even know if I've got this right.
These are so close.
It is so difficult, like to rank these things like in that particular order. Like it is like how these things are, you try to like figure out also like, the, not necessarily the availability, but like how many there were. Like I'm trying to factor in more than just what
don't think of that shit. Just go on what you like. You're making it too difficult.
I know.
These are all sold out, gone, done. There's no reason to think about it.
I know. Man, that is really tough.
All right, I can't drink anymore, so I'm done.
Oh,
I gotta work tomorrow and be somewhat coherent. So,
all right. I think I've got a top 7. I think. All right. I think I'm kind of good with this until I'm not.
All right. So this is what we're going to do first. First, we're going to reveal the 2 whiskeys we added, but don't say where you ranked them yet. Okay. So what were the 2? What was your 6 and 7 whiskeys that you added to the end?
The 2 that I added were. Should I show them?
Yeah. Go for it.
So my numbers, like, it doesn't matter. 6 and 7 was number 99, the Backbone. I added
the great one.
And then the 7th one was the Pinhook that we did.
Oh, the Pinhook.
Yeah.
Okay.
So those were the 2 that I added. So there was the common theme was MGP clearly on those 2. So
funny story.
Funny story.
The number 7 that I had was the Backbone, the great one.
Okay. All right.
But the other one that I picked was the Peerless Ghost Barrel.
Oh, the Ghost Barrel, man. There were not many of those.
This was a dark, ridiculously
Yeah.
rich bourbon that I loved. And yeah, that was it.
Interesting.
So, I mean, I had the Jack in there. I had the Middle West. I had the Soloist was in there too, but the Soloist was
I went back and forth. Like the Middle West was one that I thought was gonna, excuse me, be like in that top 5. And I don't know if it just was because it was late to the party, kind of. I don't know, but
I know the Soloist to me, I just think is that's a mood pour for me. But when I'm in the mood for it and I want that chocolate coffee type of whiskey, I have to say that Soloist probably has one of the top 5 best like viscosity mouthfeels I've ever had on a whiskey. That Soloist sticks to your palate like glue. It is so amazing.
It was very, very good. I mean, it was a beast of a whiskey, and I'm so glad we ended up with that thing. It was a beautiful, beautiful whiskey, that's for sure.
Yeah, actually, I did put 2 in that I weren't on, and maybe that's why, because it was just a little bit more intriguing to me.
I thought about the Soloist as well. Like it was a hard.
Yeah, Soloist was in there. I had the Pumpernickel Rye in here in the beginning, but I was like, you know what? Let me throw the Bigfoot in there and see how it does.
Now I kind of regret like not throwing the Pumpernickel in there. Like,
and I kind of regret not putting the Soloist in there now. Shit.
Yeah, I could have. I kind of almost wish I would have taken the Backbone out and thrown the Middle West spirits in there.
What's funny about the Backbone is it actually came off a little bit youthful compared to the other ones here for me. It really did.
Yeah, well, you'll see where I rank. You'll see where I rank that one.
All right, so I'll give you my rankings real quick. You ready?
Why don't we just reveal them individually? We'll say like your number. All right. 7,
so what was your number 7? What was your last place one?
My number 7, and I'll say the reason why it was my number 7 was it felt the softest and the least bold amongst all of them, and that was the Still Austin.
Okay, for me, for the same reasons. Well, not the same reasons. I just think I'm just not a big weeder guy. It was the Ben Holladay.
Really?
Yeah, Ben Holladay for me. I took last place.
Okay. All right. Interesting. All right.
I'll go next on the 6th place. So 6th place for me was a surprise. And it was the Backbone. I thought the Backbone was going to do better.
Okay.
I love the Backbone, but I think against some of these other ones, the Backbone just kind of took a little bit of a back seat. So
okay.
The Backbone might have had my favorite nose next to the Rebecca Creek tonight, though. It's so freaking ridiculous. Okay. Yeah, least beautiful oak.
All right. All right. Here, this was kind of a little bit of a shocker to me, and it was not that I didn't like it. It was just that I feel like the sweetness overtook this for me. Like it didn't feel enough. Like as much as people enjoyed it. Anyway, my number 6 was the Rebecca Creek.
So funny enough, I'll start with number 5. My number 5 was Rebecca Creek.
Yeah, it's not that it's not a great whiskey. It was just that I didn't want that much sweetness. Like it's very, very sweet.
It's very sweet. And when I get that little slight bitterness in the back end, you guys know my palate, it could kind of kill it for me. So when I got that, it just kind of went a little bit off the rails, but still a fantastic whiskey. But again, I think a lot of people love it for a lot of the reasons Scott mentioned. It's extremely sweet. It's very flavorful. It's a punch in the mouth. But yeah, when you kind of start blinding it, it could start a lot of the little, imperfections in it start coming out.
Right. So, right.
All right. So what was your number 5?
All right. So my number 5 actually was the Backbone. And again, I felt like it didn't, I really enjoyed it. I guess I just wasn't necessarily enjoying it as much as some of the others. Like I really, really liked it. It just kind of came across as a little bit more different than what I enjoyed with a few of the others.
Scott doesn't like beautiful Spanish wood, apparently.
Yeah. It was just it is very sweet, and it's very much of a mood kind of thing.
I'm telling you, Marty, when you blind it against some others, it just doesn't It just
It's not
doesn't.
that it's not good.
Yeah.
It's just like you start to break down what it is you want more versus something. And I didn't want that much
I mean,
sweetness.
there's a reason why I put the backbone in here, though. The backbone is really a freaking fantastic barrel. Okay, so what was your number 4?
My number 4 was the Green River.
Wow, it went down to 4 for you.
This was really a struggle for me. When it got to 4, this is where I struggled.
Okay.
4 to 1 was really, I mean, honestly, I can flip-flop these a little bit. So
4 for me was the Peerless Ghost Barrel.
okay.
I thought that was gonna get a top 2, but it didn't. It actually worked its way down to number 4.
All right.
So,
Interesting. Interesting.
Yeah. So I'll start number 3. Number 3 was easy for me, just because that is my favorite profile. It's the Still Austin Ludicrous Bourbon. It is butterscotch Werther's Candy Heaven, and I love it. I love every drop of it. So that was an easy number 3 for me.
Okay. My number 3 was the Holy Cannoli.
Number 3 was Holy Cannoli.
Well, number 3 was Holy Cannoli. This was very difficult for me.
So you have Pinhook. So you have Pinhook and 13 Colin in your top 2. Whiskey Nose says Scott, log off here now.
Nice. It was. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, Holy Cannoli. I mean, that was my.
Oh no, wait. So Holy Cannoli is your 3. So you have Pinhook and what's the other one then you have in your top 2?
Ben Holladay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I was really digging how it was kind of all. And this is odd because I'm not a huge Weeder fan at all, but how this was kind of like shaking out, I was surprised by this. And
yeah, me too. I thought for me, the Ben Holladay, I just think it's my palate and Weeders. I don't know what it is. I mean, I know when I taste a good bourbon, taste a good Weeder, I could totally do it. But, obviously picking stuff out in a blind, Weeders just don't do well for me. And I just don't know why.
This thing was just setting up so much more, not like the typical, with that dark profile that it had. I was not getting that heavy, like kind of toasted, like grain, wheat grain, like cereal note.
Yeah,
like
it's got none of that. It doesn't have like that cereal hay type of weedy, like Wheaties profile. It doesn't.
No, it never had much of that.
So top 2 are easy for me. My second was Green River, and my number 1 is the Holy Cannoli.
All right, your number 1. All right, so
the Holy Cannoli is just such a beast of a whiskey.
I had it as number 3, and again, like you could flip flop really any of these. I mean, that is a fantastic whiskey, and again, like it's only number 3 for me because it feels a little bit different, where it's not something I would necessarily always want to just reach for. Like it's that different.
I think that's why it just stood out for me. Like a core, like
it does 100%.
Like next to all of the rest, it just stands out. It's just and the Green River to me really stood out. I was really back and forth between the Green River and the 13 Colony. I could flip flop that any day of the week.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. We're really not far off. Like we're only like one off a little bit. I mean, there was one of them in here that we were a little bit.
Even even if the JD Rye pick was in here, the Solidarity, and any of these other picks that we all love this year, I still think the Green River and the 13 Colony for me would have still kind of beat those out. The JD, I don't know. The JDs were really good this year too, especially Adams Peaches. That is an incredible. An incredible option. But the Holy Cannoli is the highest proof, but it's also a very layered barrel. It's not just proof, which is why I like it.
It really is. It's more of for me, it's more of kind of like a mood type of thing. Like I have to want to drink that. Like not that I dislike it, because obviously I don't. But it's not like just something I would just go to.
Yeah, like the Ben Holladay, the Backbone, and the Still Austin Ludicrous. Like I could pour that any day of the week. Yeah, those are those types of whiskeys.
This is what I was starting to look at to kind of break these down.
What
will I reach for?
You get into the Peerless, the Rebecca Creek, and even the Holy Cannoli. Those are like am I in the mood to drink something like that right now? Those are those kind of mood pours. The Green River is somewhere in between. I feel like I want to drink that more than I do, but I also want to nurse it because I know it's a special barrel.
Well, and Green River for me was literally in the middle. Like, I mean, that was exactly to your point, was like, it's one of those things where like I could just drink that. Like, that is very, very drinkable. It's delicious. And it fell like right in the middle for whatever reason. But yeah, my number 2 was the Ben Holladay, and my number 1 was the Pinhook.
That pinhook was fantastic, dude.
I mean, when we tried it, I was just like, I don't know if I've ever had an MGP bourbon that tastes like that. That was just such a different like profile of an MGP that I've never tried before. And it just at what is the proof on this thing?
Yeah, I mean, like for me, I would have liked to throw in the Royal Airness in there, see how that would have done. Like even if we just did all the MGPs, like take the Pinhook, the Backbone, the Barrel King.
That would be a fun thing, because I mean you're literally putting MGP up against MGP.
Yeah.
You know. So yeah.
Yeah, Adam's Peaches I think would have done incredible in here too. But yeah, this was cool, man.
Yeah, number 2, Ben Holladay.
So thanks you guys for voting, because it was we got a ton of votes. It was over 120 votes. So a lot of people made their voice heard. And it's just crazy how a lot of people, like I kept hearing about the Jack Daniels, but it didn't get all the other votes that some of the others did. And it was just funny to see all the votes like Rebecca Creek got. Like the fact that was number 1 overall for everybody. It says a lot about, the types of whiskeys that people like. They like sweetness. They like high proof. And that's really, I think, what people, but I know this group likes more than that. And the votes showed, but I was talking to Scott about this. Really, my favorite part about seeing the voting results was if you look at all the votes that were put in, and if you see all the picks that we did, I think there might have been maybe 1 or 2 bottles that was not mentioned in the pick, but everything else, I think every pick we did got at least a vote from somebody. Yeah. So that tells us that not only are we picking incredible barrels, and we're getting the chance to because of you guys, but you guys are also enjoying all the different variety of barrels that are coming from the group. So it's incredible. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's been a lot, and that's really been one of the things that we've kind of really focused on. I mean, not necessarily intentionally, but we've kind of always had a variety of different things. And at the end of the day, that's really the most important part, is the variety of things and getting you guys things that are different, that maybe not everybody else is getting. So that's I think kind of what we hope to kind of continue. And yeah, we'll keep kind of pushing. If you guys want it, then we're going to go after it. That's for sure. So
yeah, I'm actually going to take a look at the master sheet here, and I'll see if I could find anything that wasn't mentioned in 2024. So the ones that did come in, yeah, these were all mentioned. So the 13 Colony, obviously, the 2 Still Austins were both mentioned. Both ASWs were mentioned. The Soloists got way more votes than the Georgia Heartwood did, but the Georgia Heartwood did get about 10 to 12 votes.
Okay.
Old Forester 100 Proof actually got a good amount of votes. That got about 15 votes. Bella Bedford 11 year, the one that nobody bought, got like 5 or 6 votes.
Really? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a very kind of different rye. That's for sure.
Both Middle West got votes. The High Bank Whiskey War, the few people that got them already, some folks voted for that one. There were only like 2 or 3 votes for that one.
I still think those 2, because like if you look at that, like those 2 were kind of done and released about the same time. So I think they were just late to the game, is what I think.
Yeah. Frey Ranch got a few votes. People love that strawberry note on it. Backbone obviously got votes. Copper and Cask got votes. The Kings County, the Elevage, got a handful of votes too. Both the Nashville Barrel Company barrels got votes. The Foregate actually, I don't think there was one that was missed. Everybody voted for everything. Let me see that. All right. So the only ones that didn't get votes were actually the old Peerlesses. Nobody voted for the Peerless Loch Ness Rye. And that was the only one.
Well, they forgot about the Peerless like they forgot about us, so it's kind of fitting.
Well, but the Peerless Bigfoot and the Peerless Ghost Barrel both got votes. The Loch Ness Rye didn't get one vote. That's the only bottle that we released in 24 that did not get a vote. Even the two Evernorth picks that we selected with Dan and Sean, each of those got votes.
I feel like if we were later in the game, like I think some of the like the Middle West, I think the High Bank, I think both of the Evernorth, I think those would have factored in stronger if people had more time.
Yeah, if I go more to the end, so the Art of the Spirits, the Double Oak Bourbon got votes.
That was one I considered putting in here tonight because of how good it was. But
the Foursquare Art of the Spirit, the Foursquare finished Burai did not get any votes. Nobody voted for that one. Green River obviously got votes. Both Jack Daniels got votes. Somebody voted for all 3 Starlights. So I don't I don't know who voted for that, but each Starlight got 1 vote. So it just goes to show you that every pick we did, except for like 2 or 3, got a vote. And I think that's a testament to the quality of barrels that we're picking. So couldn't be more proud.
Yeah, so you can see like David Shelby, he's like, my high bake is on the way. He didn't have a chance to even like mix it in. So
that's what I mean. So
this is a fun thing. I think this is the first time we've officially done it, at least this way. I don't know if we've really done one of these before or not.
I think we did last year, but I think that I like it doing this format where we have a top 5 that we kind of add our favorite to.
Yeah. Plus it puts it back on you guys to choose ultimately what it is you like the most and then kind of put them all head to head. But
and honestly, it kind of gives us a little bit of an opportunity for research, and we kind of feel like what you guys love. I mean, I have a great relationship with Jack Daniels, so I feel like we'll definitely get back there this year. I'm gonna definitely try to get another 4 Roses. We already have possibly 2 Knob Creeks, definitely at least 1 on the way. We have our 2 Heaven Hill barrels coming. We're gonna have a Buffalo Trace in 2025. 2025 is already starting to be a pretty cool year. So
a lot of stuff. Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff that was done in 24 is still going to be coming. We have all the Luxro and MGP stuff that's going to come. That's going to be
we still have 2 Russells picks that are going to release.
2 Russells. We had 2 Russells still coming. So a lot of stuff that's going to take us through, Q1.
The two donuts.
Yeah, we got the donuts. So a lot of stuff. I think it'd be kind of fun to go back to like some of the ones, like the Iowa one. What am I saying?
Cedar Ridge.
Cedar Ridge. Like, just a couple of these ones that we've done before that were kind of like, not really thought of at the time, but now like maybe something a little bit different just to kind of go back and see what they have to offer.
And I think an interesting one that we could revisit. Well, the experience that we could, I would love to do another community blend. And I think we have an opportunity to do this with Penelope. When I went to that event in Bardstown, not in Bardstown, actually in Louisville, I talked to Danny and Mike about it. And I was kind of telling them a little bit about the community blend one we did. And they said that we could totally do that with you guys. We could, because they pretty much have carte blanche over at MGP now. They could pretty much go into any warehouse they want and pick and choose different barrels. So we could probably do some crazy blend with Penelope.
Yeah, and that's really, I mean, like Jason and I talked about this, and that's why, when he said before, getting people that have not done a pick before, it's to get more people into all this. I mean, we got, it was easier last year because we knew a lot of people that would just do them. We could reach out and it would just be done. Because early on, we thought it would be like everyone would be kind of, clamoring to do this. And then it was like crickets. So we kind of fell into this like comfort zone of just kind of everyone we knew that would want to do them. Well, now the experience of doing these things, I'd say, do not overthink this. Just have a good time. Come be part of it. That's what we want you guys to do. So
but to do we'll do another community blend this year. It's something we want to do again. We had so much fun with it the first time. Actually, really takes the pressure off Scott and I. Well, Scott and I have to do our pick kind of the barrels to work with, but we'll kind of get in on that. I've already emailed a couple folks, so we'll see if Penelope responds as far as like if that's something we can do. And as far as anything else we got coming up, like I said, next week I'll put out a Google form so you guys could fill out in order to put your names in the hat for the Bardstown picks, the two Bardstown and the Green River pick that we're going to be doing in March. But yeah, the 2025 already shaping up to be a banger of a year here. So we'll keep getting to work, and yeah, I mean it's already starting. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff. So I mean that's the thing is, as long as you're, you guys are willing participants and you want to be a part of it, and the whole community and M&J Army, that's what it's all about. So share these and all that.
And as far as what's coming up next, the only ones that we know about that are going to be releasing next is the Corbin Cash and the finished Backbone one. Other than that, now those are picks that we did obviously technically last year in 2024 now. Those are the only two that are left to release. Everything else is released from 2024. As far as what's following that, there is an email thread going around about all the picks we did with MGP and Penelope. So the Remus pick, the old Ezra, the Yellowstone, the Rebels, the finished Rebels, the Ezra, the finished Ezra as well. All those barrels, there's a plan in place to release those. Now remember, we are not getting a full allocation of those. Those allocations are going to be split between 5 or 6 different groups for selling. Yeah. So we will let you guys know what those numbers are once we get them, and we'll figure that out and what that release schedule is like.
You know what I think with some of that stuff, because there's going to be small bits and pieces. It almost feels like we need to figure out what it all is and do like a lottery, and people put their names in for ones. You just get put into a thing, and if you somehow get drawn for it, then that's the bottle you get. Because in like Jay was saying, like there could be 30 bottles of something. Like that's like, how do you divvy that up?
Yeah, well, we'll have to see how that works. But I mean, that's 11 different lotteries we would have to set up. I mean, I guess we could figure that out.
Can't AI do something like that?
We still have 2 Russells on the way. We have the Elijah Craig, the Larceny, the 2 Driftless Glens. And of course, probably the next one you will see after that, after the Backbone and the Backbone and the what was the other one? And the Corbin Cash might be the Pursuit United Double Oaked Rye we picked during the Blitz. So that could be the next one. The Seguin Moreau Double Oaked Finished Rye, which is an absolute flavor monster. That could be the next, because that's already at Sealbox, and Blake hasn't told us as much. But I was at Pursuit in the beginning of December, and they told us he's like, Blake's probably had it for like a week already. I'm like, oh shit. So
that was a big debate that night. We had a lot of participants, and a lot of people just kind of kept coming in, like as people would lurk. We're like, hey, you try this, you try this, you try this. So
we were kind of back and forth.
We did it at the Blitz.
The results were surprising because we all totally thought that one of the barrels, the regular double oak barrel that they used, was going to be the one that we picked. But we ended up going with the Seguin Moreau barrel.
That thing was crazy.
Which was freaking crazy. It's so dense and smoky. It's clove, it's rye, but it's also like dark maple syrup in it. It's a crazy double oaked rye. So that one we should be seeing soon as well. So Sealbox. So we'll see it in July. You're probably I mean, the fact that Blake has had it for several weeks and we haven't heard shit about it, it's probably just has to do with the busyness of the holidays and everything else. So I'm sure when we get the email like, hey, your Pursuit United is in, let's go, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. So. Well, it is one of those things. Well, he got the Middle West stuff. I don't know if that went to him or if that was Middle West Spirits or whatever, or not Middle West, High Bank. That stuff got out pretty quickly. So
yeah, I don't know when High Bank sent it to Sealbox, and I don't know when Sealbox started. Obviously, they started shipping them out, but we were not notified of anything. So if you guys are getting the bottles, then great. That's all I could say. And I already know David Jacobson sent me a message, and he said, I got my, he was the first one that told me, he's like, I got my double oak from High Bank. He's like, that thing is a beast. I'm like, I know. He's like, I'm like, you mean you got it? I'm like, I didn't even know they were starting sending them out already. I thought they were still sitting at a high bank. I didn't even know they made it their way to Sealbox yet.
And he's in like the Pacific Northwest, I think.
Yeah, yeah. So just crazy, man. So
it really was.
We just never know. But all right, guys. With that said, thanks so much.
Yeah, we appreciate it. Thank you guys for being a part of all of it. We'll continue doing what we're doing, and we'll keep you guys kind of filled in as to what's going on. And we look forward to getting a lot of you guys and ladies on some picks who've not done them before. It's the fun part of all of it.
Yeah, as far as the Heaven Hills and the Russells, we haven't heard anything from them yet. So we'll just keep you posted. We don't know when those are going to be coming out, so we'll keep you posted.
Yeah, we'll let you know as soon as we know anything. So, all right, guys, thanks for everything. We greatly appreciate it. Thanks everybody for tuning in tonight, and we'll keep you abreast as to what's going on. So, have a great rest of your week, and we will see you when we see you. Cheers. Guys. See you guys.
Marty.